Hello, what's up, y'all? Happy New Year. My name is Kenda Bell, and I am also known as the Joy Factor Mama. I support women in finding the joy in every growth opportunity because every day that we are on this planet is a sacred opportunity. And with them, there are growth opportunities. Some of them we call them troubles, challenges, problems, and issues. We call them growth opportunities. And I also support couples alongside my husband, Simbi Akau, where we also help people to find the joy and the growth opportunities of relationships. And of course, 2020, has that not been a time for growth, right? Like we've had sacred opportunities for growth. Can I get an amen? Yes. Many of us learned so much about ourselves, first and foremost. And we also learned a lot about the world around us. What we learned was, and I have a short list, but I want you to also share at least one thing that you learned from 2020. Number one, hey, Michelle. Hey, Nev. Listen. So, one of the things that I learned was that a sneeze can be scary. Have you been out, just chilling at the store? And before people would sneeze, you'd be like, ooh. But now it's like, sneezing can be scary. The second thing that I learned was about CMOS. Who knew about CMOS before about March of 2020? I didn't. I haven't heard about it. So if you want to come on here and say that and be all deep and talk about, oh, I knew about CMOS, I'm so healthy. Oh, I knew so. Okay. I didn't. Who knew that those little packets in the Jamaican market would have so many nutrients to heal our bodies, right? So I think one of the things that we can take away that is positive to boost the joy factor about 2020 is that a lot of us learned to be healthier with our diets. We learned about eating a little better. We became more focused on a better quality of like, hey, boo, I got to have you on. I got to have you on. So those are two things. The third thing that I learned was that the government has money. So question. Now, I don't have any problems with the stimulus check that was issued. I don't have any issue with the business loans and things like that, or what they said, business grants. But I want to know, if they had all of this money during a pandemic, where was this money for reparations? Where was this money when people needed to save their businesses or create their businesses, or people in situations where they weren't making enough money, unemployment? So we know three things: that sneezes can be scary based upon social programming. We also have found out that nutrition can be one of the best healing mechanisms before a pill or a shot. And we also understand that reparations are possible, right? So I say all this to say that we can be sad about the deaths that have occurred, because there are people that have been touched by this that are watching this right now. And I give you my condolences and my sincere care, because there are people that have gotten ill by whatever the whatchamacallit, as my husband and I like to call it, floating around. But there are other people, and possibly you that is viewing this right now, that have been the healthiest that probably you've ever been in your adult life. And that is something to carry into 2021. Some of us maybe have seen our relationships change. And that's never easy, because when the pandemic came, of course, some people were separated or brought really close together. Now, the sacred opportunity for either of those scenarios was to learn more about who you were. This was the first time when the idea of partnerships became a focus on self. You never realized how bad your partner snored until COVID. Can I get an amen? You didn't realize how loud your partner chews food until COVID. Oh, I got Easy E watching me. Okay, what's up, Easy? You popped in. Hello, Nyasha. So this was a situation where when you look at it, it's like the triggers about your partnerships became a growth opportunity for you. I hope you see that. I hope you can take this into 2021, because as we start talking about resolutions, and a lot of us, everyone does the resolution thing. Oh, new year, new me resolutions. And I'm going to tell you that the system that I follow, the new year started back in September, which is agriculturally more sound in the sense that of how we watch the seasons go. In the fall is usually when you pull in your harvest, and that's when you start planning for the next year in September. If you also notice, in September, that used to be the time when the new shows would start. But they've changed things a little bit with the streaming services and the different ways that films and television shows are created. But if you look at the system, September was usually the time when things were reset. By January, for most of us in the northern hemisphere, it's cold, it's darker, and there's not very much planting going on. It's usually the dying off. Our trees don't have leaves. The ground is particularly hard. And so it's not too much planting that's going on anymore. So it's not energetically the most sound time to resolve for something new. But what I would suggest to you is that you see this time as not making a resolution in regards to what you're going to do for the next year, but make this time a new you revolution. And what that means is that taking what you learned from the previous year, which is what we're supposed to do, and clearing away obstacles and the challenges that presented themselves in 2020. And your goals should be more so about becoming a not so much a better you, and even I'll take away the new you, but more so the true you. Because oftentimes we set goals that are based upon stories that we have collected over the years. Okay. The goals that we set in January are usually based upon the stories that someone told us all year long, or for 20 years, or 15 years, or 30 years, or 40 years. So every year we want to create these goals to challenge that story. But what about disavowing those stories? Why don't you decide that you are your biographer, not based on goals, but based upon who you are? So I would like for you to comment on this live, because I'm not going to be here long. One thing that you've learned about you in 2020. And based upon that, that should be the foundation for your goal. Because whatever you learned is probably founded in something that needs to be cleared away. So don't give yourself a bunch of pressure about what you need to do, but allow yourself the comfort in knowing that you are your own best expert and you know what needs to be moved away, because that's the beginning point of a revolution. Revolutions always occur when there is a identifiable need of a removal of unjust power. I'm not going to go too deep today, but there is something within you that has way too much power. And it's probably a story that probably is even outdated right now. It's an obsolete story that is fed by your ego, which eats off of the stories. So that's it for the day. I'm going to be coming on more. I'm going to be sharing more. I'm offering a lot of things in this coming year. But if you want to get started with finding out what the new you revolution may look like, if you want to figure out where your joy is hidden, then I want you to use that link above and book a free 30-minute joy session with me. I love to talk to you. I have clients and acquaintances, sisters, close ones, all over this globe, from the United States to the UK, to Canada, to even in South America, that have worked with me and found their greater joy. And I want to extend that to you too. So that's it. Make sure, if you are not following me, then follow me here on Facebook. I am on Instagram, and I will be going live on Instagram shortly. And I'm on YouTube. And make sure you stay in contact with me because 2021 is going to be a phenomenal year for all of us. And I want to be one of the people that support you in your next level of growth. Thank you. I'm just so excited. I'm sorry. I just want to thank the people that love me and supporting me and the new people that are showing up. I did it, y'all.